Right, so let's take a look at App 4. And App 4 introduces a new scenario for us to work with. This scenario actually entails managing stock. And you'll see here that we've been given 3 classes to start with. We've got the product class, got a StockDemo class, and a StockManager class. So the product class is responsible for storing all the details, the attributes of each product. And of course, each product is represented as an object of this class. And then the StockManager stores these products, these product objects, in a collection. And that's an ArrayList, which you'll see later in the code. And the StockManager is also responsible for performing operations on that group of products, that collection of products. And of course, this is worked out by different methods which can add items to that stock collection. It can deliver products, sell products, rename products, remove products, and also print them. Okay, and each one of those is going to be a separate method within the StockManager class. And then finally, we're given the StockDemo class, which is actually responsible for testing all of these methods in the StockManager to add products, deliver products, sell products, etc. Okay, and the unique thing about the StockDemo class is we can actually set these tests up, we can actually hard code them into methods, as you'll see in a moment. Okay, and this is useful because then we can actually run the same tests without having to create the objects on the object bench and then repeat all the same actions that we've done up until now. Okay, and I think what we'll do to start with is we'll actually run this application so you can better visualize how it all works. Okay, so first thing to do, if you were to actually scroll down on the requirements and the wiki page and cast your eye to the testing part, we actually need to pass an object of the StockManager to the StockDemo. That's the way this particular class is coded. Okay, it's going to expect an object of the StockManager to be passed into the constructor so it has access to all the methods within the StockManager to then test them. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is create an object of StockManager. Let's just call it Nick's StockManager. If you can think of a better name for the business or the organization that manages the stock, please do go with that. But just to keep things moving here, I'm going to call mine after my name. And this is the StockDemo. I'm going to call it, let's just say Nick's StockDemo. And then here's the key part. I need to pass the object of StockManager, which we've just created, and of course I can click on it in BlueJ, to the constructor of StockDemo. So press OK, and there we go, we've got 2 objects here. StockManager, remember, has all the methods for adding, printing, removing, searching, and selling the products, but the StockDemo has all of the tests set up as methods to actually test these methods here to do just that, the printing, the adding, the removing, etc. Okay, and if we right click on the StockDemo, the only method we have is run demo. Okay, so if I click on that, and then I need to go to my terminal window. All right, so we're presented with this. Let's look here, we've got first printout of the stock list. We're given 3 items to start with, 3 products. We've got an ID, and they've got a name, and they've got a quantity, which currently is 0. Okay, and then we've actually got this repeated 2 times after that as well. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to modify, let's have a look at the code now. We're going to modify the methods given to us, which are demoDeliverProducts and demoSellProducts, so that we can demonstrate the increase of this quantity and then also the decrease of quantity when we actually come to sell them. So currently we're seeing 0 being printed even when we call demoDeliverProducts because we're not doing anything. We're not actually increasing or decreasing the quantity. That's why we see 0. all the time. But we want to change that so that we can demonstrate the increase in quantity and also the decrease in quantity. Right, so this is how this run demo is set up. It's got 3 print statements and then a call to specific methods that should deliver and should sell the products. And that's also the template we're going to reuse to demonstrate how we can rename products and how we can remove products and all of the requirements that are specified up above. Okay. And I think we actually add the products in the stock demo. Yeah, so if you're wondering where that is, yeah, that's higher up. That's in the actual constructor where we're actually demonstrating the addition of products. And I think you're asked to modify this so that you're adding 10 products. Okay, so we need to copy this more times just to demonstrate that. Going to copy and paste these. We also need to increase the number of ID because they need to be unique IDs, of course, so that they don't clash with other products that are stored in the list. And of course, give it a unique name. We could go with phones. We could pick another device. We can pick another item. That's not too consequential at this stage. So let's just say Apple iPad, just for the sake of argument, okay, as another item. All right, and I won't add all 10. If I just add another one, again, it's exactly the same code. We're calling the add product method of the manager, which is the StockManager class, and let's just give it another one. Let's call this let's say a Windows Surface, the Surface tablet. Okay, but of course it could be literally anything. All right, and just to demonstrate that, of course, you guys go and fill in extra ones. Make sure you add at least 10. So just repeat this 5 more times to give you the list of 10 products. Okay, so that's pretty much what we do for the first one. Okay, add any number of new products to a stock list. If you're really clever, you might want to generate this automatically. You can generate the IDs automatically or find a way of automating this increase because you know it increases by 1 every time. Picking unique names is a little bit more tricky, but there are ways of doing it. But maybe just for now, just to keep it really simple, let's just hard code it by having the 10 products just stated here, hard-coded, and they're just calling the add product method. Okay, so do add 5 more of those statements so that you add the 10 products. Okay, so that's the first one. Okay, we've got a good template for that. Let's move on and have a look at the next 2 requirements, because this is touching on the empty methods that we saw earlier, the accepting of delivery and the selling of quantities. Okay, so remember what we said, the product class, and hence the product objects, will all have a quantity attribute. So the key thing here, the key distinction between delivery and sell is, of course, with delivery, we increase the quantity of the product, and with selling, we decrease the quantity. All right, so in the delivery method, let's just find it here. We've got a demoDeliverProduct method in the StockManager, and it's important to note here that this should be set up to deliver 1 product. So if we're aiming to have 10, or in my basic case, I've just got 5 up above here, I'm going to have to increase the quantity of each one at a time. That's what this demoDeliverProduct method should do. It should operate on one of the products. Okay, and it clues in the title, it's just a singular demoDeliverProduct. So in the stock demo, I can probably set it up so that it will increase all of the products. I can repeat the increasing of 1 product, but the demoDeliverProduct will only work for 1 of them. Okay, so the key thing here is, how do I know which product I want to increase the quantity of? Remember, they're stored in a ArrayList. Remember, this is a collection of objects, and so I have to actually find the product in the array list. I guess with a small number of products, I may be able to remember where they're stored in the collection, but ideally we don't want to rely on our memories. We want to find a way of actually locating this product within that collection. So, whilst I said we're going to start with deliver product, what might be a better idea is actually to code the find product, because then we're actually going to reuse that for the selling and all the other methods listed here. So let's do a quick detour and fill in this find product, and its relevance will become clear immediately after. Okay, so find product is the first step that we need to do. We need to actually locate any given product within the stock list. So hopefully you remember back to chapter 4, and in chapter 4 there was a particular type of iterative statement that was used. Remember, it's actually the for each loop. And this type of for loop can be used to look through all the items of a collection. It's really convenient for scanning through all of the different items, and then ideally what we want to do is we want to return the product. Again, the clues here, you'll notice that this method is set up with a return type of a product. It's expecting to return an object of a product class. Okay, we're expecting to find that product in the list and then return it. So if I was to set up a for each loop, which has got a particular syntax, I'm actually going to have to create an object of the product class, so that acts as like a temporary placeholder for each of the items in the list. So it's going to say for every one of these products, every one of these objects in the list, and that's where I put the colon there and say stock. So the actual full statement would read, for every product in the stock collection, do something. Okay, and that's going to go in the braces, of course. Right, so it's going to look at each one of them. So I'm going to check each one in turn. So if I start with the very first product in the list, how am I going to work out whether that is the one I'm looking for? Well, I'm provided a ID parameter here. And remember that each product has a unique ID. Remember that we saw this in the stock demo right at the start. We've numbered them with unique numbers, 101, 102, 103, 104. So if I pass in a number, I want to match that to the ID of the product in the collection. So let's go back to our StockManager. Really, I want to say, well, for each of the items, if the ID I'm looking for is the same as this is my temporary object, which refers to each one of the items in the list. If the ID I'm looking for is the same as the ID of the one stored in the list that I'm currently looking at, well, that's the one I want to return. So let's call the getID method of the product class, which should give me the ID. Okay, and then return the ID so that I can match it with the one I've just passed in. Okay, and so do it for every single one of the items, and then if I find the one which has the ID I'm looking for, that's the one I want to return. That's the one I want to find. So then I say return product. Okay, and then if it's the case where I don't find anything, it'd probably be best to leave this return null statement here just to satisfy the product return type. Okay, so let's just check we've got the get ID. Yeah, we have. That's here. If it's not given to you, just quickly write that in. Standard getter for getting the ID. Probably got other ones as well, things like get name, get quantity, etc. So I think they're given to you, but if not, they're easy enough to type in. Okay, that's what we're doing here. That and this temporary excursion is going to give us a lot of benefit later, because we're going to constantly reuse this find product method for all of these other methods. Okay, this is a very common pattern for any type of operation on a collection of items, a collection of objects. Okay, so I can now directly use this algorithm in my demoDeliverProduct method, the one I originally set out to code. And I'm going to reuse it later for the selling as well. Okay, so let's put it to use in delivery. Back to requirement 2. So here we go. So the first thing, if I want to increase the quantity of a particular product, I have to first find it within the list, so I increase the right one. Okay, and so let's call the findProduct method. And remember, that's going to return me a product, so therefore I need to set up a object of that. Let's just call it lowercase p for products, just for now. You might want to give it a specific name if you want to. Just keep things simple. And the findProduct method is going to also take a parameter, ID. Okay, we actually pass that in to delivery product. So I'm just going to pass that on directly into here. Okay, that's given to us. So assuming that I've found the product, the next thing I want to do, of course, is to increase the quantity. And whilst it might be tempting to do a positive comparison, I could say, well, I guess I could say if the get ID is equal to the ID of this, that would be a way of doing it. Or another way you also see is a kind of a flipped logic here, where you say, well, if the product is not equal to null, if it's not nothing, i.e. if it is something, if there is something in product, then I must have found something. Because remember, it's either going to return a product object, or it's going to return null. Remember, those are the only two options I've got from this findProduct method. Okay, so then we want to increase the quantity. So let's just check what the method is. I think it's increase quantity. I think we're given that. Yeah, so this is set up. This is an increase quantity method in the product class itself to actually increase the quantity by the amount that you pass to it. Okay, and I think you're actually passing that into the demoDeliverProduct method as well. So there we go. We can then pass that straight on. We can say increase quantity, and how many? It just takes the one parameter, the amount. Yeah, so let's pass in amount. Okay, and then that should. Oh, I think I spelled that wrong. Sorry. Increase the quantity by the amount that you pass it. Okay, and then maybe might want to provide just another message just in case we didn't find anything. In case it actually returns null, it might be best just to have a little output statement here to say, well, the product doesn't exist, or product that wasn't found, or something. Can't increase the quantity of a product that doesn't exist. Something like that. I'm just going to say product was not found. Right, so there we go. A little bit of validation there for the delivery. Okay. And so if I come back to the StockDemo now, I then have to call the demoDeliverProduct method in the StockManager in the StockDemo. So you notice here I've got an object of manager. Remember, right at the start, I passed in an object of StockManager to the StockDemo. That's stored in the field here. All right, we've got a field attribute for StockManager giving me access to all of the manager's methods. Right, so here is where I want to say manager dot deliver product, and I think it takes two parameters. It takes the ID of the product as well as the amount I want to increase by. So let's start at 101 and let's say 20. Okay. And then what we could do, we can then repeat this for the other deliver products. So we can say 102, 103, 104, and then 105. Okay, so we can then repeat that on all your remaining products as well. You can do the same thing. Okay. let's put this to the test. Let's check this works. We'll be able to see now because we're going to call this this demoDeliverProducts method, which in turn, has the chain for delivering. Let's see if we see an increase in the actual quantity that's printed out. So let's retrace my steps and create an object, of StockManager. And then an object of StockDemo. Pass in the StockManager objects. And let's call run demo. And I need to go to my terminal window. Okay. So this is good. So I see that we start at 0. Then here's where we call the deliver demo method, which you see has actually increased the quantities to 20, which is good. And we haven't coded sell yet, so they stay at 20, but that's what we're going to get to. So that's good. So we've proved that we can actually deliver and increase the quantities for each of the stock. Okay, that's good. So that's a start on requirement 2. Let's go on to requirement 3 now and see if we can decrease the quantity. And I think I may also add in a little clue just so we know what we're doing at each of these prints. Maybe it's in here. I could say system.out.println. Let's say attempt to deliver products. Ooh. Maybe I can also say the same for attempt to sell products, just so I get a little hint. See what we're doing. Okay, and maybe here's where we could say add products, attempt to add products with 0 quantity. Okay, just so we know what we're doing at each stage. Okay, so now let's go on and do a very similar process, but the reverse. We don't want to increase the quantity, we want to decrease it. Okay, let's go on to requirement 3. Sell quantities. Okay, we're going to a similar setup. We're going to have a method dedicated to selling one product in the StockManager. And I think in product, we've actually also been given a method to sell one of these products. Might want to just repurpose this so that we can actually sell more than one product, okay? Because you notice here it actually just decrements the value of quantity by 1. All right, I want to see if I can do this so I can actually pass in an amount, which is what we did in increased quantity, but do the opposite for decreasing it. So if I modify the sellOne method in product, and actually, I think rather than sellOne, let's say sell quantity. Oh, I spelled that wrong, sorry. Sell quantity. Pass in the amount, and then let's do a very similar thing to what we did above. So if the amount is greater than 0, again, a little bit of validation there, then we can say quantity minus equals amount. So I could pass in 1 there, and it would still decrease it by 1. But then I can also reuse this method and pass 5 to it, or 15, or 20, or whatever the quantity is that I want to reduce by. Okay? So that's just saves me having to then set up another method which will sell multiple quantities, or prevents me from having to call sellOne hundreds of times to actually decrease it, okay, by more than 1. So let's go back to the StockManager and work from there. So again, very similar process here. Going to want to, first of all, find the product that I want to sell. So I can call findProduct again. So let's say, create an object. Oh, sorry, that's wrong place. Product, create an object of the product class to receive an object that has been found. Let's call the findProduct method up above. And I need to pass it the ID that I'm looking for to see whether it's found it. Okay. And then again, a very similar process again. We're going to say, well, if product is not equal to null, i.e. if there is something there, all right, that's where I want to then call the sell amount or sell quantity, I think I called it, in the product class. And of course, I'll do that through the product objects. So if the product is there, call sell quantity and pass it the amount I want to decrease by. That might be 1, that might be 5, 20, whatever. Okay, and hopefully that will decrease the quantity for that product. And oh yeah, just a bit of validation as well. So I recognize I'm probably going to be repeating what I'm saying here. Product was not found. Don't know if there must be a way of generalizing that. So that's probably another bit of validation. That could come later with some refactoring. So there's efficiencies that can be made with this. This is just helping you to get a start. That should complete what we need for sellProduct. Let's go back to the demoSellProduct method and then call that from the manager. So again, another very similar process. Going to call sellProduct in the manager, which in turn then calls sellQuantity within the product class. Okay, so it's a nested chain there. And again, here's where I type in the IDs. Let's say I want to sell 5 each time now. I suppose the advantage of doing it this way is that I could technically specify different amounts. And actually, let's do that just to demonstrate how it works. Let's pass in different amounts. Remember to change the IDs as well, because else it will just decrement the same product by that amount. So remember to make sure you change those IDs. Say 15 there. And then finally, App5 is, let's say, 6 there. Okay. All right. And let's check to see whether this works. So let's do another recompile. And then again, repeat the process. Let's create the StockManager. And StockDemo. Pass in the manager so that I can perform the tests. And has it already done it? Oh, no. Because we've got a lot of printouts here, might have to keep clearing the screen if you're going to be repeating the process like I am every stage, just to test. Yeah, so let's check from the top. Okay, start at 0, that's good. Let's attempt to deliver the products. Okay, yeah, we got 20. Now let's attempt to sell the products. Yes, and you see they decrease by the amounts that we wanted to sell them, by 5, 7, 10, 15, 6. Okay, it's good. So we've demonstrated we can now sell these products. That's requirement free. Okay, so hopefully by now you're starting to get a feel for this application. Have a go at this, put some of these tips into practice, and then have a go at the remaining requirements. Okay, so see how you get on.